Come for the game, stay for the commentary.
Ain't nothing but a seat then, baby.
Minion in. This is not a gaming video. This is not a guide. This is just story time with Minion. I told this story to a couple of people, and they were like, dude, you have to make a video about this. So I'm doing it, and then I'm going to check this subject off and be done with it. I have an arch nemesis, apparently. I have a guy who's made it his life's mission to destroy me. And he feels very confident that this is a thing that's happening, that he's causing me sleepless nights, and it couldn't be further from the truth. Let me go back a little bit. Okay, if you guys aren't aware, Bandai Namco has given me control of their official subreddit for Bless Unleashed. I run that place now, and we have some rules there about being respectful to each other. The number one rule of the subreddit is be kind. If you go a little farther down, I think like rule 7 is one about no condescending elitism. You know, I want people to get along, and I want the toxicity to at least, you know, a low roar. So I work hard moderating that place. I check it every day and everything, and I'm also covering a PvP tournament that has been put together by the community. You can click on this card to see the first part of that, which is the priest bracket of that tournament that I made a video of. I uploaded it. I posted it on the subreddit, and it didn't take very long for someone who is very new to the subreddit to comment that saying that priests are good at PvP is like saying 300-pound 10-year-olds are good at dodgeball. And, you know, that's not very clever and also uncalled for and completely unnecessary. I mean, have you seen some of these PvP priests? They are amazing, and I'd hate to run into any of them in Red Basin. But that's not the point. It violated subreddit rules. I could have just sanctioned or, you know, given a strike, come down on him with a warning, whatever. But I decided to give the guy a break because he was new at the subreddit, and I decided to try to diffuse with humor and at the same time kind of, you know, point out the flaw in that reasoning. So I suggested that it is probably not the best idea to disparage a bunch of 300-pound 10-year-olds for their dodgeball game when they're probably better at dodgeball than you are. I thought that was well handled. Maybe I'm wrong, I don't know. But this guy went ape shit. Without even meaning to, I took his very, very frail, super fragile ego and shattered it into a million pieces. This guy went off the rails. He was so mad. Started calling me names. So I was just, you know, I was moderatory at him, if that's an adjective, which it is now. I just invented it. I just very formally said, reminded of the rules and said, please be respectful of the other people in the subreddit. And then added that it may not be the best idea to try to goad mods into a fight because they outrank you here. And he kept going. He was just being super toxic. And I realized this guy is not someone who can be reasoned with. He's one of those people who's just toxic nonstop. And there's nothing you can do. So I issued him a 1-day ban. And I wrote him again, please remember to be respectful. And please take this day to cool off and then come back and we can all get along. And he did an immediate ban appeal demanding that the person who insulted him also be banned. And that's when it occurred to me that he did not realize that the person who he was trying to pick a fight with, even though I have the community manager flare next to my name, was the subreddit admin, that I was one and the same person. So I responded respectfully again, you know, take this day to cool off. I did warn you not to try to goad moderators into a fight. You shouldn't be goading anyone into a fight on the subreddit. This is not the atmosphere we're going for. But especially the mods, that's just not smart. And he went nuts that I had no place telling him that anyone was better than him. And that I am a hypocrite for not also banning myself for this insult. And I'm sitting there going, hang on. This guy is super butthurt because a group of hypothetical 300-pound 10-year-olds are hypothetically better at dodgeball than him. And he's the one who made up the 300-pound 10-year-olds, and he's the one that made up that they play dodgeball. It just blew my mind how ridiculous this whole scenario was. So, I tried reasoning very respectfully, because I take my position as a moderator seriously. I don't try to feed into the toxicity, but I did, after a while, decide that I don't have time for this nonsense. I already have so much on my plate, I don't have time for some asshat from the internet. And I realized that he was never going to stop being toxic. That is just what he felt his role on the internet was to be, I guess. And it reminded me of that wise meme that arguing with an idiot is like playing chess with a pigeon. No matter how good you play, the pigeon will just knock over the pieces, shit all over the board, and then strut around like they've won the game. How ridiculously low does your self-perspective have to be when you feel intensely threatened by imaginary people you just invented? So I stopped the conversation, and I extended his ban to permanent. And I said, I'm done with this conversation. I'm sorry for your frustration, and I'm happy to review your ban appeal once you have become less hostile and self-righteous. And it was like the less I was intimidated by this guy, the more furious he became. He just went into a complete rage out. And I ended up having to mute him so that he couldn't even do ban appeals or write the moderators anymore. So he proceeded to write me in private DMs. He just couldn't let it go. And I never responded to any of it, but he did write very clearly that he was going to go over my head. He was going to find out who was above me, and there will be consequences for my actions against him. And it took about an hour for him to realize that there is no one above me. I'm the top dog on that subreddit. And I guess he even went to like Reddit. There's a moderator on one of your subreddits, and they were like, you're an idiot. And he must have been turned away everywhere he tried. I don't know if he tried to contact Bandai Namco. I have no idea. And instead of showing a normal human reaction of, fine, or resignation or humility or whatever. I mean, you go around randomly being dicks to enough people, you're randomly also occasionally going to end up being a dick to someone who's bigger than you. And that's what happened to this guy, and I don't feel bad. I don't feel bad about that. So he realized there was nothing he can do, that there's no one above me. And he wrote that he will now make it his life's mission to make me miserable, to destroy me, and it will be so much fun for him to make my stay on the internet an absolute hell. So, I kind of, I blocked him, and I shrugged it off. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. I have problems this guy can't even dream of. And I put it out of my mind. And then a few hours later, it came to my attention that this guy I had rocked this guy's world so badly that he had become so obsessed with revenge that he had spent hours scouring like all of Reddit for any gaming videos I'd posted anywhere, and he commented on all of them, and every single one of those comments was complete and total nonsense, but said with an air of smugness that suggested that he felt he had left me some scathing remark that was going to keep me up nights now, that I was going to be sleepless going, oh my god, I can't believe he said that. And it was just so ridiculous that I blocked him on all platforms. So now, somewhere out there, where I can't see and will never be aware of again, this guy is totally off my radar, there's a guy sitting in his mom's basement, rubbing his hands and cackling maniacally at the new clever burn that he had come up with to comment on one of my videos. So I guess he's out there somewhere, just being the bane to my Batman. I hope he's having a wonderful time. I wish him all the best, and I hope he's perfectly happy and content, just thinking that he's giving me the abuse of a lifetime. I don't even know. I can't see any of it, guys. I haven't thought about the guy since like the day that happened, but some of the guys that I told the story to were like, dude, you have to tell the story again. So this is me telling the story again, and now I'm done with this idiot. Guys, You're on the internet. It doesn't mean that you can just go around being a dick to everybody. We're still human beings. Let's be respectful of each other. And if you're not, you may eventually run into someone who can put their foot down with you, and you don't have to like it, but it's gonna happen like it did to this guy. So I don't know if there's a moral in this, or maybe this is just a funny story about my nemesis, who I picture is probably something like the WoW Freakout Kid. Like, he's at home right now flopping around on his bed the remote in his ass because he's so mad that I said 300-pound 10-year-olds that he invented are better at playing dodgeball. The situation is so ridiculous. Guys, this has been my story. Like and subscribe. If you enjoyed this story, let me know, because there are always more. And I'm happy to share them if you guys are happy to hear them. Also, you guys, if you want to support me and my channel, the best way to do it is to share my videos with other people who you think would also enjoy the content. Follow me on Twitter, the link is below, and retweet stuff. Interact with me. That's why I do this. I want to interact with people. So, you know, most people. even this idiot. The experience made for a good story to tell, and that is what counts in the end. But guys, as hilarious as this has all been, let me just be real at the end of this for 1 second. If you take even an hour out of your time, much less a day or more, to try to hurt someone to avenge your wounded pride, then yes, 300-pound 10-year-olds, real or hypothetical, are way better than you. Minion out.
The foe, want my failed enhance, and I swear I'm out the dough. Better to make an if to seed me up, cause you know we nip and rip shit up. Give me that seed dog first so I can rake in the double. Get him up to level 26 and then you raking with a shovel. Ain't nothing but a seed then, baby. Throwing money and enhance like crazy. Singing eager to the pose, what pays me. It's just leveling, so don't be playing lazy. Hell, but